Welcome to Silent Podcasts, where you're anything but silent. My name is Sabrina, and I am your host of I'm Pleased to Tell You, the Amazing Race podcast. And here I have one of my co-hosts, Isaiah. How are you?
What's going on, Sabrina? How are you on this fine Monday night?
Feeling pretty good because the Broncos won yesterday, but
We talking about this again. Okay.
I just had to say it one more time.
Yeah. Eagle forever. I do not care if we lose. I am a Philly loyalist. I don't care what the situation is. I don't
Yeah.
care.
And I'm kind of all over the place with my sports teams, but the Broncos have been probably my longest tenured team in my life, and so I ride pretty hard. So I'm
No
very
loyalty.
excited.
You guys heard it here first.
Hey, listen. Hey, my teams are usually pretty shit, and so the fact that we're getting somewhere right now, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, okay.
So, anyways, back to the topic what we're supposed to be talking about. We are on episode 2 of the Amazing Race of the Big Brother Amazing Race crossover season, and this episode was literally everything. It gave me everything I wanted in an Amazing Race episode. I'm very excited to talk about it.
Yeah, like I said, this is new for me, but it was very active for sure. We have people showing up late. We got people steamrolling through comps. We have people struggling, so I enjoy all that.
Mm-hmm. And I think we talked about this last week, but one of the best things about the race, in my opinion, is the travel situation of the airport frenzy, getting tickets, being late for something, missing flights or missing trains. And we didn't have that for a few years because of the COVID years. They had to do pre-planned flights and transportation. So there was not this scramble that we had in years past. And so now that it's back full-fledged, especially in this episode, because I feel like the first almost half of this episode was just the travel situation. And this was not the episode to be not taking notes. So I definitely made a mistake there. So I had to go through several websites to figure out who and when people were going on these trains. And I think I got it down at least enough to where I can make a summary of what happened. So I'm going to try my best to recap this properly.
Got it. I am here to assist you as it's fit. I'm the newbie here. I do have a question real quick.
Yeah.
So was Amazing Race always an hour long, or is that like a new thing like Big Brother?
It is a new thing. So it used to always be an hour, and now it's an hour and a half. Whenever they switched Survivor to be hour and a half, I think at the same time they switched Amazing Race to be an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that switch?
Honestly, I like it. I also like it for Survivor too. I feel like it adds just enough extra that we can use. I think it would be a mistake if it was any longer than that. I think 2 hours is too long. But an hour and a half is kind of perfect. It's been a nice recap when I go watch it without the commercials, and it's just straight an hour. It feels more complete. I feel like I'm getting more of the story, and it gives more time for stuff like this, the whole travel situation, to be fleshed out completely.
I've always been like this with Big Brother and Survivor, and now Amazing Race. I've always been iffy about the time change, because I'm just I feel like I don't watch the shows live as often as I can. I usually catch it on a recording or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you miss a live viewing, it's yo, this is long. I feel like Amazing Race is a little bit more there's the viewer retention is there, so it keeps my interest while I'm watching it. I'm iffy about some parts because it is a little an hour 30 is a little long for me, and that's across any of the shows. I like special episodes to be that long, but
yeah,
if it's episodes like this, I don't mind. I think there's a lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely has to be on it the whole time for me to be definitely not looking to see how much longer I have left to watch, because sometimes you do get that fatigue of watching it for too long. Especially with all the shows now being pretty standard now, an hour and a half. So they definitely have to keep stepping it up. But this episode, great.
Great.
Okay, so we start off at we're still in the Netherlands, and I love how they show what time the teams leave. Like that always makes me really happy. It's in my own little nerdy way. I like to see exactly like how far ahead each little team is. Because it's kind of the one part in the entire episode where we get a legitimate like timeline. Because other than that, we don't really get anything. We have to kind of guess until the pit stop. And for the most part, the first few teams are like fairly close together. Like first team, Jazz and Jag leave around 11 a.m. and same with Tucker and Eric because they got to the pit stop at the same time. And then right around maybe middle of the pack starts to get a little bit later in the day. And then the last three teams are pretty late. So we have anywhere from about 11 a.m. to the last team leaving, Megan and Matt, leave at 5:23 p.m. So they are very behind. And I knew they were going to be fairly late, but I did not expect it to be that much time after Jazz and Jag. So that was pretty surprising. I did not see that coming. So they're going to have some work to do.
Yeah. I feel like if I was in this situation, I try not to like give up, but like there's a couple teams throughout this episode. I'm not going to jump around too much, but like, there's a couple teams this episode where it's like if I'm not seeing at least like another team, I feel like I would start spiraling almost to start stressing out a lot about like possibly being behind.
Honestly, I kind of feel that way too. Like I feel like if I were to be that far behind and to not see anybody for hours, like I would be pretty like upset too. I wouldn't know what to do. And I think about all the time too, where if I were doing like a roadblock or a detour or something, and I start to see teams like finishing before me, that might also throw me into a spiral.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think that'd be really tough. So they have a lot of work to do. I'm sure they know how far behind they are. But it doesn't seem like they're super phased. They just kind of like enjoying themselves, I think, at this point. So not so bad.
Yeah, they're vibing.
So they find out, pretty early that they're going to Prague, and that they have to go by train. And this is what we were talking about with the fun travel situation. So they have to go to the train station and buy their own tickets to get to Prague from the Netherlands. And there's already at the beginning 3 different trains that are happening. So the first train is Jazz and Jag, Tucker and Eric, Izzy and Paige, Christina and Rubina, Natalie and Stephanie, Jack and Chelsea, and Hannah and Simon. Simon, good Lord, Simone. Who wrote Simon on this? Jesus. Simone get on a train that goes through Berlin and Dresden to get to Prague at 9:23 a.m. the next day. The second train is Angela and Lexi, Kat and Alex, and Kylan and Taylor. They take a different route through Frankfurt, but they're still going to get to Prague at the exact same time at 9:23 a.m. And Megan and Matt, because they're so far behind, their next closest train option will get them to Prague at 10:22 in the morning. So it starts off to where the teams are going to actually get kind of bunched up. Like most teams are going to get there at 9 in the morning, but Matt and Megan are only an hour behind. So it sounds like it's going to be a pretty, cut and dry train scenario. But there is a transfer that's supposed to happen for the first group where they're supposed to get off in Berlin and transfer trains, but they all get off at the wrong stop, which is crazy. Like, I don't know how often that actually has happened. But in my mind, the logical thing, which I probably would have done this route, Tucker and Eric, Izzy and Paige, Christine and Rubina, Jack and Chelsea, and Hannah and Simone, they're like, oh, well, let's just get on the train, like the next train that's going to go to the correct station, and then we'll just connect to the train we're supposed to get to anyways. And that is honestly my logic. I probably would have done that because, like, why not? We're at the station. The train's going the same direction. Let's just get back on. And so while they're hopping on the train to get to the next station they were supposed to get to, Joseph and Adam end up finding a direct train to Prague to where they don't have to do any transfers. And they realize that this train is going to get them there even earlier at 8:12 in the morning. And they end up saying, well, okay, we kind of want to get some help on this leg. We're trying to maybe scratch some backs. Let's tell somebody else. Let's not do this by ourselves. Because I think they were afraid that maybe going on their own could cause some disaster if like there's a train cancel or something, which is it's a smart move to get at least one team to go with you. So that way you know you're not alone and just in case something bad happens. So they end up telling Jag and Jazz and Natalie and Stephanie. And so they decide to all get the same train and they're like, hey, we're going to stick together this entire leg of the race, which I think is very smart. So they get on a much better train. But meanwhile, the second train originally happening, they are in Frankfurt and their train has been canceled. So they are in this like layover overnight, like trying to figure out what the heck to do. And they end up getting on the same train that Matt and Megan are originally on, that's arriving at 10:22 in the morning. And this was kind of the moment where Matt and Megan were like, oh my God, we are not dead. Like there are other people here. This is crazy. And so everybody is now not alone anymore.
Yeah. So it's a perfect mesh of like, for the first half, like strategy, because I feel like, especially early on with my limited knowledge of this, it's like you want to at least like show face of like trying to work with people to some degree. And then like obviously towards the end of like the day, like you want to split off and try to like get to first place.
Right.
And with the second thing you were saying, I'm really shocked how like Angela and Lexi specifically, it felt like they had a head start and then they just kind of like ended up in the second half. I was like, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like everything that could have went wrong for them this episode went wrong. It's really unfortunate.
It really is. Like the madness of the travel and like just getting lucky, and it just all has to come together at the same time. And it definitely did that for those first three teams that ended up getting that earlier train. But like it's kind of like not even just luck too, but just the fact that you have to make that gambling decision of like, okay, we know for sure if we get on this train, we'll end up at the stop we're supposed to get to. But there's a chance we could get somewhere earlier and maybe we'll miss the other train but get a better one. And it's like, do you make that call? Like that's super scary, especially at the start of the episode, because if you make one wrong move, you're kind of screwed like for the rest of the time. So I don't know.
It's a crappy situation to be in.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know if I would be able to hold it together like half these people did. So kudos to them.
I mean, yeah, I definitely would have I would have hopped back on the train. I don't think I would have gone. I don't think I would have done what Joseph did and like trying to find a new train. I'd be like, nah, I cannot chance this. No way.
Yeah.
So we finally get to Prague after, I don't even know how long that part of the episode was, but it was a hot minute. And the first three teams end up being those first three of Joseph and Adam, Jag and Jazz, and Natalie and Stephanie. And they find they have to go to Zizkov Television Tower, which has babies on the side of it, like crawling babies that are on the side of the tower. That's like part of the artwork of this television tower. I don't know why that's there. It was very interesting, but I mean, whatever, I guess.
Right.
But they find out it is a roadblock, and the person who is getting the roadblock has to walk outside of the tower on like a narrow plank, and there's a clue hanging from a rope. They have to pull it up, grab the clue, and walk back. And I would have absolutely loved this challenge. I love heights, and so I would have been up there immediately. How about you?
Hell no. I would have freaked out. Yeah, I mean, like, this would have been like my 13th reason. Like no way.
No.
I feel like if I was there, like I would do it. But oh my God, like I suck at heights. That's not my thing at all.
I know, and that just like cracks me up too, because like watching, like most of the people were pretty terrified. There was only a few people that were like fairly chill about it. And I mean, you're literally, it's not that bad. Like you're harnessed up, like in set, like you have a whole full-blown harness. You are like, I think it was like at least one or two ropes. Like you're good. You're good. You're not jumping. You're not jumping.
I feel like humans were made to be on the ground, and I like it here.
Fair.
You know?
That's fair.
I like it here.
I hear you.
Like the floor.
Like what cracked me up the most though is whenever Lexi was doing it and Angela was like facing the camera like she was like so terrified. I was like, I can't do this. Is so ridiculous. Like these people are not dying. Like it's gonna be okay. Like we're gonna live. So I don't know. The whole part was just goofy to me, but it made me laugh.
It's so funny. I'm dangerous. I can't. You're Daredevil.
I mean, yes. Yeah, as I do like that kind of stuff. Like I like heights, I like roller coasters, I like the whole thing. The only thing I wouldn't do though, to be honest, is bungee jumping because I do not trust that rope. That's the only
My
thing.
wife wants to skydive, and I think she's crazy.
I do want to skydive, I really do. And I feel like for some reason I feel like it's safer than bungee jumping. I don't know why.
I will never understand. I will never understand.
I just like want to do it just so I can be like, I did it. Like, I don't know. It's just like one of those things. I'm just
Right.
whatever. So these roadblocks like can be interesting, but at the same time, there's not a lot of room to pass other teams. Like sometimes these types of roadblocks are literally like one at a time, and that's it. It seemed like this one, I think there was maybe two at a time that you could go. But a lot of times it's like that. So it's just kind of you're just going to hold somebody up if you're not moving. Really, you're only hurting yourself and everybody behind you if you're not going. Like if you're scared or
Right.
whatever, you're taking your time. So, I mean, they're cool to like to see the scenery, but it's not really like my favorite types of challenges to watch just because it's so like straightforward. You just do it or you don't,
Mm-hmm.
and that's that. If they didn't do it, they would have incurred a time penalty, which I believe is at least 4 hours. So, I mean, obviously not worth it. Yeah. So you can take a time penalty for any challenges of the roadblocks or the detours, but it's like a heavy penalty. Like it's usually not worth it. There's been a couple of instances in the past where it's worked out fine, where they've taken the penalty and they've still been okay. But rarely it's the smart move to do. Unless
Is it
you're
a bad strategy to do no challenges whatsoever? Take all the penalties.
Probably. And they might design it that way too. I would hope they would, because if they make every challenge like super hard and long, then yeah, people are gonna be like, okay, see you later. Like, I'm not doing this.
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's
system.
yeah, and I could see people maybe thinking that way, but I would hope they would design it to where that would be kind of impossible to do.
Yeah,
but that would be really funny if somebody did that. They're just like, I'm just gonna take this 8-hour penalty at the pit stop. What's up, Bill? Like, how's it going?
He'd probably get pissed off.
For real, he'd be like, you literally signed up for this. Like, what are you doing? God. So yeah, nothing too exciting here. Everybody completes the challenge. Nobody takes a penalty. It's all good. And then they have to make their way to a bridge that has a statue of Emperor Charles IV, where they'll find their next clue. A lot of route infos so far in this season. Usually it's like maybe one in an episode, and then it's usually detours and roadblocks and stuff. But I feel like this episode and last episode, there was a lot of just intermittent, like random locations and stuff that they had to go to.
I told you they got time. They have time now.
Right? So this is where they find out that they have their detour. And the two choices are remember the chair, which is where they're going to like a kind of pub kind of place, and they have to study a tapestry that has 11 different village crests on them. Then they have to find the chairs and the pub that has those specific crests on them. And there's some that are tricky to like make sure you get the right one. And then you have to find the name of the village that is associated with the crest and figure out how to say the name of the village correctly. So a lot of the teams would be asking people that were sitting in the chairs, like, how do you say this? And then they had to memorize it. And at the end, there was a gentleman who was pointing to each crest, and you had to name it correctly by memory. The people who chose this task, it was Angela and Lexi, Hannah and Simone, Izzy and Paige, Jack and Chelsea, Kat and Alex, Christine and Rubina, Megan and Matt, and Tucker and Eric. And the other choice for the detour was called Handle with Care. And they had to go to this place where they had a bunch of Bohemian glass goblets. They had to pick up 48 of them in specific orders and go to 3 different restaurants and hand deliver the goblets to these restaurants. They would get a stamp, go back to the main place, and then get their clue. And only Jazz and Jag, Joseph and Adam, Kylan and Taylor, and Natalie and Stephanie chose this task. And personally, I think the goblet one was way easier than the chair one, in my personal opinion. I would have chosen that one.
I would have chosen it too. I just based off of, I don't know. I already told you. I feel like I take the safer route for a lot of these things, and that one felt like a lot more simpler than the other one.
I think so. Just like, I feel like They usually do a fairly decent job at making the detours pretty evenly like
Mm-hmm.
matched. Like they're like make it fairly difficult to choose.
Yeah.
But
One's
there's
mental, one's usually like physical.
exactly, yeah. Usually it's how it
Yeah.
is. Usually it's like one mental, one physical. But there are some occasions where one is like significantly ends up being easier. And this one was not chosen by that many people. And it seemed
Yeah.
to be a lot quicker. There wasn't a lot of hiccups for the teams that picked the goblet ones. Like nobody messed up an
Yeah.
order, nobody dropped anything. The only weird thing is that they went to a random ass restaurant where these people were outside, like, come on
That
in. How's it going? We
was
love this.
funny.
We love Prague. And then they were like, oh, we're actually in this random restaurant. Okay, bye. Like,
They saw the cameras. They were like, "Please give us free promo."
yes.
Yeah.
Which I love. That's so funny to me. The locals are like, hey. Yeah, that cracked me up. But in between that, though, before, well, we're kind of already in the detour at this point, but Tucker and Eric completely miss the detour clue and somehow end up at the pit stop clue. So,
Jinkies.
yeah, so they open their clue. They're like, oh my God, we're already at a pit stop? No way. No detour. This is crazy. And they get to the pit stop, and Phil's like, hey, so you guys got here fourth, but like, there's a detour. You gotta go back. And they seem actually like okay with it. They're like, okay, well, we kind of knew it, I guess. So let's go back to the detour. And they end up getting to the detour clue box, I feel like 6th or 7th. So they did lose a little bit of time to actually finding the detour. But my hands were like at my mouth when I saw them go to the pit stop. I was like, oh my God, this is awful.
Mhm.
Like, that'd be so terrible. Just had that feeling of like, oh shit, there's a whole other ass challenge that we have to do. Like that is, oh my God, that would freak me out.
I think you guys mentioned it last podcast how they'll get sent back if they like forget to do something or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
fact that they got sent back and they still did pretty well is hilarious to me.
Insanity. Like,
Yeah.
so they decide to choose again, remember the chair. And the remember the chair one, I said the glasses one, there was no issues. Jazz and Jag finish it incredibly fast, and the rest of the people do too. There's really not any issues there. Remember the chair had some people stuck. I believe Izzy and Paige might have got it on their first try, if I remember correctly. So they killed it. Angela and Lexi had a little bit of trouble. Christina Rubina had a little bit of trouble. Megan and Matt too, a little bit. But overall, I mean, they get through it, and nobody really gets that frustrated either. Like they're a little bit like kind of freaked out, but nobody's really having a meltdown. Everybody's kind of getting through it just fine. And there's not like a big shakeup in terms of final positioning either. Because
I think,
it's a.
go ahead. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
No, I was saying that after the trains, it was all kind of on foot, so there wasn't any like issues with like travel really. Like everybody was kind of like able to find the places, like no big deal.
I think you guys said that it's not regular for like a lot of people to like know each other on the show, but I really do feel like it's that like happy-go-lucky like kumbaya-ness of it all. I mean, like we'll see what happens later on, but as of right now, everyone's still kind of friendly. You also got to remember some of these people are fresh out of like Big Brother 26 at the time, so like you know a lot of these people. This is a fairly new group of people, so like. A lot of these people don't have like bad relationships at all. Actually, it's pretty cordial. You know, no, I don't think there was a lot of like real beef coming in here. Like they try to push this whole Izzy and Jag thing, but there's like no legs to it at all.
It's not.
They don't even see each other.
No,
like you know what I'm saying? So
truly,
yeah.
like I totally agree with you. Like, you make a good point because like yeah, everybody does really know each other, and everybody's just kind of like we're here. This is great. Like this isn't our like big break. Like we've already had that. Like we've been on TV before. Like this is normal for us. Like it's just another fun thing for us to do. And so I think you're right. It is definitely that air of just like, we're having fun. Like this is great. I'm wondering how it's going to go when we start getting like legitimate twists in the game. The usual normal twist is the U-turn. I mean, that's been there pretty much every season. But there's that one, and then there's some new ones that have been coming up the last few seasons. Like the next episode, there's the one called the driver's seat, which made some people mad last season. Like there was definitely some drama around it. So I could see that maybe causing some waves, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, there's definitely we have definitely our top competitors and our not top competitors. And so, I mean, I don't see it changing that much, just the way it's already been going these last 2 episodes, but we'll see. We will see.
The only thing I'll say is like, obviously there's like the Hannah and then Kylan / Taylor, and then who else? Like Chelsea, Joseph, like they're all cool, like outside the game. And then you got obviously Tucker and Rubina. They're dating at the time. And then Jag also kind of like around, like a lot of these people, there's like still like sections of like friend groups. And then there's like the stragglers, like a Natalie or who else? Like Izzy isn't really around like that. You know, like there's still like people who are kind of like solo, but I'm seeing a lot of these friend groups kind of like pushing to like for a while. Like I see them all looking for each other. And I wonder how that's going to play out.
I really don't know, because like you're gonna get to a point where like you have to fend for yourself. You can't just be like, hey, we're all like top 6. It's like you gotta go. Like you gotta keep moving. And I feel like Jag and Jazz kind of did that right whenever they got to the Goblet Challenge, because they were still doing their like whole like group of 3 thing, and they were working together. But as soon as they like knew where to go, they were like, peace out, see you later. And I'm like, that's what you need to do. You have to have that mindset at some point in the lay. You can't just be, we're going to just cross the finish line at the same time. It doesn't work like that. So I definitely respect that from them, because they did as much as they could, and they were helpful, and they helped everybody, and they even gave them directions like, hey, it's literally on the street, don't leave the street. But they're like, we're still better than them, so we're gonna go. like you have to. So we get to the finish line, and no surprise at all, again, Jazz and Jag win again, which is, I'm not shocked. They've been killing it. They're going to keep killing it. Like, they're definitely showing us that they are the team to beat. Like, there is no question.
Yeah, the moment I saw Jag on this cast, I knew it was going to be a problem. Like, I'm so sorry. I was like, either Jag is going to go off or Tucker's going to go off. It's one or the other, you know.
I mean, you're not wrong on both of them, though, because so the top 3 teams are the 3 teams that got there originally. So first place, Jag and Jazz. Second place, Joseph and Adam. And third place, Natalie and Stephanie. But I think the surprise of the episode is that Tucker and Eric bodied the challenge, and they're back in 4th place, which is absolutely insane. And before they even got to 4th place, they stopped for ice cream and fridge magnets. Like, the audacity of these men to be like, oh, we think we might have 4th. Let's just like get a snack. Who are these people? Like,
that's how Tucker is. He's here for a good time. You know?
Literally. Like, I could not believe that. I was like, you've got to be shitting me. Like, but if anybody was going to do it, it would be Tucker. Like, it literally would be this man.
Tucker, Big Brother, would literally just do stuff because he was like, fucking we ball. Let's see what happens. Like,
I was in awe. I was like, I cannot believe that just happened. But like, I mean, good for them. They're also doing very well. Like, they get along very well with each other. Like, they know what they're doing. Like, they're doing amazing. So, I mean, I guess you can have some ice cream. Cool. Like, and then we get the rest of our teams in 5th place, Hannah and Simone. 6th place, Izzy and Paige. 7th, Jack and Chelsea. 8th, Christine and Rubina. 9th, Kylan and Taylor. 10th, Kat and Alex. 11th, Megan and Matt. And unfortunately, 12th place and eliminated was Angela and Lexi. And I'm very sad about that, because I was really hoping for more Angela time.
Yeah, I feel like if there's any kind of future potential for like a fight or a blow up, she was one of the top contenders to like bring that energy. Fortunately, 100. She's not here. I did see a funny clip on Twitter though of some of the Amazing Race and Big Brother alumni like going to a club this past weekend, and there's a very funny video of Angela singing like they're at like some club that Rick Ross is performing at, and then like he starts pointing at her and she's like singing the lyrics back, and it was really funny. Yeah, I was just like, what?
That's hilarious.
If I could find it, I'll send it to you. But
yeah. So there was this app that Janelle was telling me about, which, okay, am I like under a rock and didn't know that this like chat BCC thing was a thing?
It's a thing. I'm just not on it. But it's,
I really had no.
Started this year.
I had no idea. And so like I signed up for it because Janelle was like, hey, so there's like, they literally chat about it during the episode. I'm like, excuse me. And so she was sending me some screenshots of like some just kind of behind the scenes stuff from the episode. And some of the things they were talking about is that, let me see, Taylor had mentioned that there was a bunch of stairs they had to run up and down inside of the tower before they even got to the elevator to like get to the top of the TV tower. And Angela was talking about how the train station just awful. And then just other little things is like, let's see. Oh yeah. Matt was saying that at the very end, whenever they were trying to get to the pit stop, he was like, I'm glad they got the combined 25 seconds we walked out of the 30-minute run.
Yeah, Turner was like not in this episode at all.
And then Hannah mentioned that Joseph and Adam actually paid for their train tickets. So that way they could save some time and end up on the same original train as the top 6 teams.
Interesting.
Yeah, and said that if it wasn't for them, that like her and Simone would have missed the train. I know.
I told you, friend groups. I'm telling you.
I mean, there is definitely some pros to having some friends on the race, which again usually doesn't happen because usually we don't know anybody. Usually you're just you and your partner. So it definitely adds a little bit of a layer that we're not seeing all of it, obviously, like not showing everything, but it is interesting to find those things out. Like, how much help are people really getting?
Yeah. Listen, these are questions for our next episode when we have a guest.
Yes. So speaking of, we have a special guest coming, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yes. But overall, I like this episode. I thought it was really fun. I like the combination of challenges and the fun train stuff. That was really entertaining for me. And yeah, not surprised by who won the leg. Also not super surprised by who lost. And our bottom teams are kind of staying the bottom right now. So we'll see if things change next episode.
Who's our winner pick? Who's your winner pick right now?
I mean, it's got to be Jazz and Jag. They're undeniable right now.
I don't see Jazz or Jag placing under 4th place for the whole season.
That's super fair. And honestly,
that's how scary it is.
I mean, truly, I could see them going to the finale, like top 3. Like I really, really do. Like they have no signs of like slowing down right now.
It's gonna take them missing a train or something for them, or getting bad directions. Because like even they got really lucky by getting in contact with the locals that spoke English. I remember there was like that scene that Hannah had to like speak their language to like it's gonna take someone to give them
that was so cool, by the way, that she was able to speak their language. I was like, man, where'd you learn this? Like that was crazy.
Yeah. I have no clue.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely think that, I mean, there's still gonna be legs where there's self-driving and having to get directions again, and because like an on foot like leg is, I mean, it's gonna be a little bit easier because everything's gonna be pretty close together. So if you get lost, it's not too bad. But if you're gonna have to drive yourself like across the country, like that's gonna be really rough.
Yeah, agreed.
So we'll see. Yay. Okay, well, I mean, that's all I got. Anything else you want to talk about in this episode?
No, pretty solid. I am enjoying my time. I was iffy at first, but this episode has sparked my interest.
Yay.
So I'm curious to see how far it goes.
I'm excited.
Hopefully it's not like, I hope that there will be some back and forth for Jag and Jazz. I will say that. I do want some adversity. But outside of that, yeah.
I mean, fair. Yeah, let's keep it interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Isaiah, where can people find you?
You can find me on on everything with the @8ball bangers, and I'm talking Amazing Race every week with Sabrina and Janelle. So yeah.
Woo. And I'm pretty much just on Instagram right now @Sabrizi2492, and then also talking about Amazing Race every week. And I am so glad it's back on TV. Love it.
Awesome.
All right, we will talk to you guys next episode. Bye.
See ya.